Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's, I think, like the most, that feels like the most kind of sporting.
What kind of bow do you have?
Gosh, I didn't get to do it this season, but
Do you know the company that makes it?
not off the top of my head. I have a few.
You have to know.
Yeah, no, this is embarrassing. This is embarrassing.
I can get you hooked up.
Yeah, it works.
Okay. Do you know how old it is?
No, it's not old.
Did you get someone to coach you?
Yeah.
Who coached you?
It's basically a bunch of the guys.
I think he's lying.
Welcome to social media in the 20th century, led by the most powerful social media magnate in the world.
Honestly,
I have such a qualm with even talking about this individual and the way that he exploits humanity, our planet. It's not a sport.
Scary.
It's terrifying.
If you hear any influencer out there on the interweb say that eating red meat causes cancer or it's inflammatory or it causes diabetes, you can rest assured that they are completely ignorant of human physiology and nutritional biochemistry, and you can hit the unfollow button.
okay.
He's not a nutrition scientist. He's a family physician and a farmer. We have so much data. There are so many studies from the best research teams, the biggest data that red meat is associated with diabetes. So he just doesn't know the science.
What I eat in a day as a former vegan who added protein to her diet. My reintroduction to protein started with Japan. Someone suggested I try a Japanese diet because it's one of the healthiest diets in the world and it has some of my favorite foods. When I got to Japan, I was in awe at how clean and delicious their food was. I indulged in fresh sushi and fluffy egg, and I was amazed at how good my body felt the next day. And that led me on a journey to figure out how animal proteins affect my body. After tests and research, I found that animal proteins helped me have more energy, lose weight, and helped with my mental fog. I do believe that the vegan diet is still the healthiest diet to have, and I aspire to one day be a raw, alkaline vegan. Until then, this is the diet that's helped me reach my goals and help me feel good in my body. It can be scary talking about things like this because veganism is such a sensitive subject. People are vegan for many reasons, whether it be health or environmental or love for the animals or all of the above. I'm aware how people could take this and how it can make them feel. But I'd rather be honest and share my story in my own words. Whether you're vegan, vegetarian, pescatarian, white meat only, or fully carnivorous, I'm not going to judge you. Do what's best for you in your life at that moment. All that matters is that you're happy. And if you're happy, I'm happy.
Chris, what do you think about these ex-vegans? Is there a common trend between them?
Yeah, they like meat and eggs. They want attention, but they're not nutrition scientists.
Yeah, I mean, she says she had to add protein back into her diet, but she says it as if you can't get protein from plants.
It's just nonsense. It's just playing to the camera.
Controversial opinion, but you should not limit your red meat consumption. No, red meat does not cause cancer, and no, saturated fat is not bad for you. Red meat is a superfood. Your doctor lied to you.
A superfood.
Chris, this is your influencer camp.
If you take what the internet doctors say, it's a scattergram. Nobody can make any sense of it. But if you listen to epidemiologists, nutrition scientists, it's all pretty much the same. More plants, less processed food, less red meat. Are you going to believe that data, or are you going to believe somebody who's at the grocery section saying it's all wrong, scientists are all wrong?
Most people will experience tremendous reductions in anxiety within 3 days to 3 weeks of starting a ketogenic diet. In fact, we did a study where patients with bipolar disorder, major depression, or schizophrenia tried the ketogenic diet, and 43% achieved clinical remission from their chronic mental illness. And 64% of them left on less psychiatric medication because it improves the balance of chemicals in the brain. But the question is, what's causing those chemical imbalances in the first place? And so let's start there.
Dr. Georgia Eade is a Harvard-trained psychiatrist
who specializes in nutritional science and mental health.
She was one of the first psychiatrists to offer nutrition-based approaches as an alternative to psychiatric medications to optimize brain function and enhance performance.
My health was declining in my early 40s in ways that was true for a lot of my patients, and the diet that I ended up on was backwards from what we're told is healthy for us. It should theoretically kill me, but it resolved every single one of my symptoms.
Oh boy, I'm just so disappointed that this is a Harvard researcher.
Red alert, red alert, red alert.
It's all about glorifying the expert, even though it goes against the science massively, right?
Is this person really legit? Because the messages are straight out of the beef industry's playbook.
I can't have children if I don't have a period, so I became infertile. And do you know what the vegan community told me? That's fine. That's actually a sign of health, and that's totally normal. So I admit that there was a lot of misinformation and brainwashing going on for myself, and I'm speaking for myself.
So yeah, she says that she didn't do a vegan diet wrong, but then straight up admits to following all these pseudoscientific misinformation sources, that losing your period is purity, things like that, which to me are heavily associated with that raw vegan movement back in, I guess she was vegan from 12 to 6 years ago, which would be, 2012 to 2018 roughly, which, yeah, the YouTube raw scene was out there. There were a lot of claims being made. I actually started my YouTube channel during that period because I was seeing so many pseudoscientific claims and no one was citing science in the vegan sphere.
Well, so Mike is a good friend and we talk back and forth all the time. I've had him on my channel before and he's treated like a lightweight, but I think most of his stuff is really solid. Whereas with Steak and Butter Gal, if you're not having your period, you're either really low on calories or something. I've never heard a vegan doctor, influencer, anybody say it's a good thing to not have your period. I mean, where does that come from? That's the first time I've ever heard that vegans don't have periods.
Keto versus carnivore, which do you do? I'm confused. I hear all this advice on keto is great, carnivore is too boring. Keto has all these spices, all these herbs, paprika, pepper, garlic, thyme, oregano, and more. Many of them, I don't even know where they came from, but I know this. Some of them are hot and spicy, but I add them and I'm so used to it in order to make the plant foods taste better. What do you need on a ribeye steak besides the fat? Nature's own salt. That's the simplicity of it. It's meat with the fat, a little salt, that's it.
I feel like we're being gaslit.
I just actually love the confidence. It's so funny. I'm like, I can't help but just laugh. Herbs and spices, some of them we don't even know where they came from.
Outrageous.
Simon did quite a debate with Dr. Kiltz. I just thought Dr. Kiltz was full of emotional sort of word salad like that clip was, without any data to back it up. He's not a nutrition scientist, but he's a great storyteller, and it is appealing to what people want to believe, that steak is really good for you.